Good evening, everyone. How are you? Welcome in. Welcome back. Good to see all of you. April Fools. Did any of you play any jokes today, or were any of you joked on today? Hope everyone had a wonderful day. Good to see all of you. Mods, thank you so much for being here. Hello, Purple Sneakers, Callie G, Miss Machete, Jen in Georgia, Misty, Maui Sun. How is everyone today? You know, it's so hard to believe we're in. Hi, Austin. You got your packet and your pencil? Hi, we are going to be playing the audio from Miss Yada has resurfaced. Very interesting. And Austin's got her packet ready. Was that packet sent to you, Austin? And we're going to listen to it very interestingly. As you know, Yada used to be a member of our channel. She used to come in quite often. She is a second cousin of KP. And it appears we have not seen her for quite a while, have not heard from her in quite a while. She used to email me quite regularly. And suddenly she has resurfaced. And she went on Cluminati for her resurfacing on a panel, and I have the audio. I'm going to play it for you. And she's just got, she's kind of flipped some of her story a little bit, or her stance. Very interesting. And Chris, then CP, shows up on the panel, and he's not happy with her, because before she didn't hold back with the fact that she felt very confident that KP, how do I phrase this, was no weak link, etc. And so CP came on, and he was very upset and defended his wife and said, the way you've spoken, and he was very angry. And yes, she switched her sides, and then they did a whole lot of talking about at night and the green team and all of that. Hi, Car Guy. West Virginia Hollow Girl. Hey, Misty. All I need is Jesus. And so it was very interesting. I think that it's going to stir a lot of drama up. And I want to play it for you just so you hear it, because we've heard Yada in our chat before. She's shared in our chat many things. So now I want to let you hear her again. And now StreamYard's got a very weak connection, I'm seeing, but it's not my connection. Mine's strong. So let me know if anything goes awry. Hi, Triggered. Hi, Callie G. Hey, Mini Panthers. Hi, Ginger Girl's mom. Hi, Jen in Georgia. Hi, Panda Bear's mom, Bluegrass Meadows. So one thing that also happened is, hi, Cece, did you email me today? Okay, I've been on the phone. I have been doing an interview. I have been interviewing someone. I did not get into the Valo thing today, and I'm going to try again today. Yes, it was a very crazy day, but I have been interviewing a CPS investigator, not involved in Sebastian's case or Tennessee at all, but just asking questions about the process. And they've been very, very, very helpful. And I'm going to continue to speak to them tomorrow, and hoping to get that interview out to you on Thursday evening, if all goes well. So I think that'll be good information for all of us of how things work, how things should work. Although she's in a different state, that's okay. Yes, Charlene. At night, debunked the 3 a.m. car. However, Justin apparently, and I wasn't on his panel, did reiterate that he does recall back at some point, and I haven't gotten to hear Justin. This was relayed to me. He remembers the impounded car with being brought up way back, but it has been debunked. We're not going to discuss it anymore. Let's just leave it at that for right now. Okay. So I don't understand Kelly G either, but think about, well, I don't want to, he said he can't confirm the car. Thank you. Well, regardless, we're not going to worry about it right now. They don't want us to discuss it. It's debunked as far as the investigation goes. So forgive me. I'm sorry that happened in our chat last night. And we'll just leave it at that. Okay. And I apologize. I will tell you, if something comes out and, that happened, it happened during our chat. And I apologize to you all that it happened during then. And we will just move on with what was posted today. We are not going to discuss it. It's not relevant. Okay. So I'm just, I don't feel I did anything wrong either, but it happened. And I wanted to just be forefront with you all. You're my people. You're why I'm here. And so I just want to let you know that what went down. And I also did reach out to at night myself and let them know what went down on the channel last night. So I just giving heads up, So I welcome, and hey, Peter Pan 13, Alicia 3312. We're all human. Thank you. Yes, I appreciate your all's grace. So yes, there's been a flippity flop. And CP got on and he wasn't happy. That I don't think that he, as far as it was appearing, was trusting her. Hi, Ocean Joy, Maui Sun, Pink Butterfly, Jenny Mount, everyone in the house. Thank you for being here. So we're going to listen to it. I audio taped it and I have the audio. Hi, Kelly, the OG, and we're going to get into it. One thing that they were referring to, they were asking Yada for all of the communication emails from Nick the Hat. They thought they said it would be very valuable to have. So I think her interview is just going to stir up a whole lot more bunch of junk, in my opinion. I won't either, Alicia. I won't either. And guess what? I did today to audio tape. But I will be honest, half the time I was on the phone in the other room. But I do have it for y'all. So it's going to be, I think it's going to stir up a whole lot. So let's keep our focus on Sebastian, but let's hear what she has to say. Now, some people are alluding that, remember, she has been off the grid. We have not seen her, and she was regularly around. A lot of people are saying, she was in hiding again and came out, maybe made a deal with someone. I have no idea. Maybe she just, I don't know. I have no idea what's going on, but we're going to listen to her. And one thing that happened is they're now saying the green team syndicated because while Yada was on, she received some messages, one of which you'll hear what they are, who it's from. It was from BHB. And, of course, they're going to run with that. So a lot going on. It's going to explode. BHB has court tomorrow, correct? I'm not sure what time. Does anyone in here know what time it is at? I was going to check the docket before I got on here, but didn't have time. So, hi, Charlene. Well, I'm glad you're here today. Cece, it's hi, Little Red. Good to see you. You were modeling? Oh, modding. Okay. Good to see everyone. Yes. Charlene, do you know what time it is tomorrow? 12. Oh, hi, Miriam in Australia. 1 p.m. Central tomorrow. Okay, 1 p.m. Central. I'm writing that down. Hi, Frank. Hi, Beth Leg. How are you? Norma Baird. Good to see everyone. Prayers for Betty. Thank you, Robin. It's good to see you, Robin. So everyone, we are going to listen to the audio. And I appreciate all of you being here. Happy Tuesday. Is it Tuesday today? Yes, it is. So, and like I said, I've been interviewing an investigator. Hi, keep up the chatter. So good to see you. Hello, Jay. Hello, my friend. It's always a pleasure. And thank you for your 4 months of support. That's beautiful. I appreciate it. So, where was I? We are going to go ahead and get to the audio. We are going to listen to it. I have been interviewing an investigator from CPS, non-related to this case or the state of Tennessee, from a different state, but learning to some of the process of what their the processes are. Okay. So I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to continue. We've spent several hours today interviewing. I'm going to continue tomorrow when I have time. I'm going to try to go down to Vallow again tomorrow and then interview again tomorrow. And hopefully it'll be ready for me to release on Thursday. So that'll help us. Hi, Detroit Rock City. I think that'll be some good information for us that we can apply to every case, right? Every case. So hi, CB. You know, it is so funny you said that, CB. That's why I got my train of thought. Man, it dawned on me and a couple of others. Could this have been a planned panel where Yeda got up there? CP got up there mad at Yeda. And Yeda and CP are now going to talk. Then BHB sent a message and now they're going to send it to CP so it gets to the courts tomorrow. So, wow. Hello, y'all. I feel this was done on purpose the day before BHB appeal. Maybe Yeda was promised to get back into KP's world. I bet CP will take this so-called email to court since they gave no real case. That's what I'm thinking as well. So it's funny you said that, CB, because you weren't the first to think it. Hello, Whispering Winds. Hello, Beverly. So was it a planned thing that Yeda finally came out of the woodwork, the bushes, and CP called, or was it real time? Real. Hello, Ginger Snap. Hello, everyone. Hello, Caroline Miller. So I'm going to play the audio for you. Hi, Terry DeVoe, everyone. And we're just going to listen to it. It's about an hour. And like I said, I might have to stop it if it ended because I was in the other room. But I think it's about an hour long. And I will play it for you. You ready? Wait, let me make sure it's the right one. Hold on. Let me make sure. Okay. Team and their lies. Oh my gosh. It started with that injunction thing. And I caught so many of them, and there was some exhibits from Taco and his wife where, she would message me all the time on Instant Messenger, and we would talk and stuff. And in her exhibits, she was putting these huge accusations about my cousin Beth. I don't understand how she got involved so quickly. And my cousin Beth was the one who actually just contacted Duchess, because my cousin Beth lives in the Outer Banks in North Carolina, and that's where Duchess is. But Beth also had a good friend from High Point that was Duchess's sister, I believe. And told Duchess, look,
My second cousin, her son is missing. You do missing children. Can you talk to her? Never had anything else to do with it, really. But every time Duchess did an interview, she would tag my cousin Beth.
Can you all hear it okay? Give me a 1 if you can hear it okay. I think it's the best I can give it to you, but I want to make sure you can hear it. So she's talking about how she originally got involved in coming on YouTube. And she's explaining how, thank you all for letting me know. She is explaining how Duchess, remember that was the first interview on the 3rd of March, and then the 4th was the one for local news. So she's talking about how that got set up. Thank you, Caroline. Thank you, everyone. Hi, I have new socks on, and Gina Marie, Amy Lynn. Hello, hello. Let's keep going.
And it looked like Beth was with her for everything. And on Facebook, when you tag somebody, it looks like they're there. But they're not. Exhibits, Michelle kept putting, because Beth, it was so odd that she was involved. It puts me in more fear for my life. And I was just like, where the hell is this coming from? So I contacted, Tony and Nick and Betty and all of them. Like, these are all lies. I have proof. I have all of the messages. My cousin Beth, along with 10 other family members, which I provided pictures and photos, were on an out of the country cruise whenever this was going on.
Excuse me.
I got videos. They were in Honduras on this particular date, on May 1st or whatever. What is this BS? It's lies. I want it fixed. And I got this, horrible message, back from Tony and Betty. We have our own lives, so we don't control anything that goes on. The courts will just leave it be. The courts will sort it out. And Nick's response was, okay, we'll get this corrected. We'll sort this out. And then I waited for the corrected exhibits and didn't get anything. So I contacted Nick again, and his response, I was like, look, I have all of these messages recorded and all of this information proving it's lies, and they're still in there. And his response to me via email was, what do you mean you have recordings? They didn't record anything, And his last words to me were, you can just as easily become a defendant in this case. And I said that, Nick, I have the email. Oh, that's rich coming from Nick.
Just to let you all know, on this panel, look at everyone, I believe is Flew, her man, Cletus, thank you. J for J, and eventually, I don't know if Granny's watching's in there the whole time. She's in there, and then Yada comes in, and then Chris comes in, CP. Jules to Kelly. Hi, Cinderella. Hi, Genia Stevens. Okay, you be careful driving and listening. We are listening to the audio today. I took one for the team and went to Clue's channel. Never done that before, I don't think. And I got the audio for you all because I know you all don't go over there. Here we go. And this is Yada. This is KP's second cousin. Oop.
I had been cooperating. I had been, more than happy because all I care about is finding Sebastian. the funeral, and they keep dragging my family's name in the mud, you know, because we're Katie's extended family. And I'm like, stop. I mean, it got so bad that my cousin Beth, who I had already proven close, anything had nothing to do with.
Beth is a family member, apparently, and I wasn't clear on this either. So Beth is the person who somehow knew Duchess, or someone knew Duchess. Beth knew someone who knew Duchess, and that's how they connected with Duchess, is what my understanding is. Yes, Whispering Winds BHB does know about this, and actually she's messaged into Yada during this interview. She talks very bad about Tony, Nick. It's terrible. She calls the at night mafia-like behavior. Hi, Brianna's World, Grammy Wolf. Let's keep going, okay? Thank you all.
After everything was proven, didn't they even somehow get a search warrant, knocked on her door, went through her house, and my niece was in the bathroom when they busted the bathroom door open. Who's they? Yeah, I don't know how they were granted a search warrant unless something was twisted in the request for search warrant.
Not true. I know how. He's down there at least once or twice a month. And she photojournals everything, videos everything. And they had proof that the dates and everything that they were questioning where my cousin was. At one point, she was in Virginia Beach at the Neptune Festival with my sister. The other time in question, they were on a 12-day cruise to the South Caribbean. And they had proof of that. And then somehow somebody was able to warrant a search warrant and bust down our doors. And do you know what the predicate behind the search warrant was, other than the YouTube crap and the at night mafia crew? Do you know who executed the search warrant? No. We'll find out. Okay, I have to comment. Sorry, I have to comment. Since she's bringing it out, and I'm going to only say a couple of things. It wasn't things that were false to take it to a search warrant. It wasn't incorrect info to get it to a search warrant. Yes, I knew that it occurred. Okay, and that's all we're going to say about it. But that information right there, how she's saying that, is incorrect. Okay, that's just what I'm going to say to you. That no one made anything up. No one did anything weird to get a search warrant. And it was very warranted. Okay. Another thing I will tell you is when I was taking one for my team, listening to this, Dog the Bounty Hunter did come into their chat and he put, huh? HUH with question marks. So let's keep going. I just wanted to explain that to you. Reality Wind said, hold up. This is not feeling right at all. Yes, she shows her face. That picture that I just took is from today's interview. The one that's on my thumbnail is from today's interview. So, yeah, Dog went in there and he goes, huh? And had, question mark, question mark. He was in there. You bet. Oh, after they were telling her to send proof, she jumped off the panel. Okay, good. See, I would, like I said, I had to leave the room. I didn't want to listen anymore, but I had it recording for us. So let's keep going. But yeah, the whole search thing, it was legit. it did occur. It was a search warrant, and let's just leave it there. Okay. You all are amazing, by the way. Hi, Holly. Yes. Yeah, me too. Nothing like a flipper.
This weekend, Beth will be here on Sunday.
Beth's her cousin.
And I'm gonna get all the details on that. I did it a couple months ago. It was shortly. Yeah, after the years, was it the TBI, the local one?
I believe they're talking about the grandpa's funeral, right? When Sebastian was taken there, and she's saying that well, you'll hear what she says, but I think that's what they're talking about. And the reason Beth's coming in is she knows someone who knew Duchess, who was going to help raise awareness for the Sebastian's disappearance. So let me. Thank you, Brianna's World. You're sweet. You're sweet. This very well, like I said, I was on the phone with someone. I was on the phone with someone. I said, "What do you think if this was planned performance?" Because as soon as the court was mentioned at the end, BHB's court, that came to me. But let's go ahead and continue.
The Outer Banks of North Carolina. Oh, okay, that's great. So Nick, Nick and I actually email with you. Yeah, the last email I got from them was after I was like, look, I haven't now received the adjusted exhibits because your proof these are all lies. I have the recorded messages. And, he's like, who are you recording? It's illegal to third party record anything. You can't do that. And then he said, you can just as easily become a defendant in this case. Dude, I have been trying to help you. I've given you all the proof and provided all the information that nobody here was involved. And this is what I get. So I had to spend my money. See, I need knee surgery. And I had to put it off for 6 months because I had to spend my money to retain an attorney just to make sure I didn't become a defendant. So he threatened you with becoming a defendant? And that's exact words. You can just as easily become a defendant in this case. Go right on back to Francis, which, I'm gonna be honest with you, I got no respect, no love for my cousin Francis.
Francis is KP's mother, a lifelong, the highest level you can have, RSO.
Katie's grandmother, my Aunt Suzanne, is a beautiful soul, God-fearing Christian woman who will take care of anybody. She has been around this country. She just got back from Kansas from being with my Aunt Betty, taking care of her because my Uncle Mike just passed away. Sorry for yeah, she will do anything for anybody. She's just amazing.
And Yeda shared with me that Grandma Suzanne, that's KP's grandma, and that is who KP is very, very, very close with. And Grandma Catherine always knows where KP is. But Grandma Catherine, or Suzanne, excuse me, Grandma Suzanne always knows where KP is. KP confides in her, but Grandma Suzanne doesn't share with the rest of the family. So she just says she's fine. So that has been shared with me from Yeda. I guess I can share it now since Yeda's sharing this stuff. Let's keep going. So Grandma Suzanne always knows where KP is, and I think that's important.
It was his grandfather that passed away, who, I guess you have to call him Sean, whatever. You know, told me, I had, I knew, had the utmost respect for Suzanne and Don, liked them. And when Katie went to that funeral and had Sebastian with her, it was out of love for her grandmother, had nothing to do with her mother. Katie and her mother.
Hey, Claire, thank you for letting me. Hey, Jay. Miss Shadi, if I may, I don't even know what all this is about Beth. I don't know if you guys know, but I don't know. Sorry if I'm speaking low for you, Miss.
Sorry, that's Granny's watching, talking, and this was today.
You said you spent money to an attorney out of fear you become a defendant. But why did you add anything into these declarations? Because what have I done to you?
I didn't add anything to the declarations.
I think you say they had wrong. Maybe you can help me understand, Claire. I'm sorry. Somebody just messaged me. Yeah. So she said that the green team has turned on her because she was exposing their lies, right? Right. And I do want to ask one question. You said that you were giving them proof of stuff. Like what kind of stuff? That's what I'm saying. Like whatever proof was given was okay for them to use in litigation against me. And I don't even know what you all are. I don't know who Beth is. I don't know this.
She's saying she was to be a defendant like you.
After she spoke up and said you have a few things wrong.
Well, it sounds like Yana, were they accusing your family and you were proving that it wasn't your family? How were you able to prove that to Nick?
Because the exhibits for Taco and his wife, I guess this would just be for their exhibits and their portion of it. We're saying that the presence of my cousin and her mysterious infiltration into the case and involving Duchess so quickly and being with, she was accusing my cousin of being with Duchess and Katie because my cousin had made the comment that she had only met Katie once and that was at the funeral, but where Duchess would go and interview Katie, she would tag my cousin Beth in it so Beth could see the video, and it would tag her Facebook. So it made it look like on Beth's, on her locations where she's been, when you get tagged, it makes it look like she's been there. She was there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't really understand the tag thing, but Granny Beth is the one that knows Duchess and set up the initial interview.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just letting her know that Beth is the one that knows Duchess and set up the initial interview. She didn't.
That was my cousin.
Yeah, they're cousins.
Oh, okay. I don't understand what people keep saying because respectfully that Michelle and her husband said the same thing to Tacos about something about Beth in the filing, and perhaps that's on me for not knowing what they're referring to. And I was just
This had nothing to do with the initial interview.
Excuse me.
She has not seen Katie since the funeral.
Please hit the thumbs up.
She got a call from my Aunt
Thank you.
Suzanne because my Aunt Suzanne knew that these people, Duchess's sister and
Yana, how did you get involved with Nick and Aunt?
Now I deserve a thumbs up, team, for taking one for the team and listening to this. Give me that thumbs up. Push it.
So I actually talked to Betty because I thought she was somebody trustworthy. And then all of a sudden I'm contacted by Tony and Nick. When Nick got involved, Nick and Dog, and they were asking me questions. Well, what about with all the allegations about my cousin, and I got back and was like, no, here's some information. Well, was she here? What about this camper? You know, I was like, no, here's this, here's this, here's this, no, this. And they were like, well, what about, they're asking about areas around my cousin, Joey, do you think about it could be here? Do you think it could be there? And I would send them pictures. Do you recognize this place? No. What kind of car do you drive? So I was like answering their questions about my family, kind of clearing up. No, that can't, that's not that. No, that's not that. Like, oh, a very large family, the reason moms are. But if later now, he didn't meet somebody in the pitch black dark and hand him over to anybody in this side of the family. This did not happen. So then I got quiet for a while, and then this green hoodie person came up, and they were saying, "Oh, this looks like Katie's mom." I said, "Send me the picture."
Okay, for those just coming in, they're speaking about KP's grandfather's funeral when she took Sebastian with her. Okay, and this is KP's second cousin. She used to be a member of our channel. She used to come in all the time. Was very concerned that KP may have been somehow, involved, allegedly, in her opinion. And now we didn't hear from her for months, and now, boom, she's back out the day before BHB's court hearing, and after a long time of not hearing from her. Okay. And I want to thank everyone who's gifting. Thank you so much, Mini Panthers, for gifting a Crime Time Buzz membership, and so appreciate it for gifting 2 Crime Time Buzz memberships. If you are the recipient, please thank our friend Mini Panthers, and we will see you Saturday around 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you so much for growing the group, the family. Let's keep going. So this is the second cousin of Katie, and she is now talking. Wait, I want to see this. Someone said, yes, Sebastian was at the grandfather's funeral. That was like 6 years ago, right? 6, 7 years ago. And Seth did not go. It was KP and Sebastian. And that's where the first time many of the family met Sebastian. Oh my goodness, Mini Panthers. If you receive this other gifted Crime Time Buzz membership, please thank Mini Panthers. Growing our family. And we will see you Saturdays for our reunion time. Thank you, Mini Panthers. So appreciate it. Okay, let's get back to KP's second cousin. Thank you. All I need is Jesus. It's for taking one for the team. Thank you. That's funny. Very sweet. It wasn't easy.
And immediately back, I'm like, no, I can tell you from looking at them, that is not any woman, girl, anybody of my cousins. We all have the same figure shape, and let me tell you, we've all got a fat ass shaped like a pear.
Talking
Not
about
any
green
of us.
hoodie.
No, no, that's all about it. Same. Actually, we don't all go. But when it comes to something like this, we all have the same goal. We want them found.
So when did you realize that you were lied to or whatever it was?
Oh, I kept hearing, I would watch these live casts. And I'm like, oh, that's no. No. All around Katie's mom. And I'm like, yeah, this has absolutely nothing to do with Sebastian missing. And enough already. And we have, since this has started, had some of my cousins have had to have police called to their houses because of people picketing and screaming at them. You know, my Aunt Suzanne lives in the house. At that time, my Aunt Suzanne lived in the house, and Francis lived in like an attached trailer to the house. They had to call the police there.
People have been picketing outside their house.
Screaming and picketing, and Sebastian, where's Sebastian? We need.
Yeah, but he's one of the people that do things like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but she didn't have it there.
just making sure.
But, and then he just would say things to me on the phone that I knew weren't true. And I'm not going to repeat them because it's hearsay, but I knew that, you know, Tony. I emailed Tony, Nick, Betty at night, or the attorneys at night, and Bob, pointing out about those. I think at the time it was exhibit 56 and 57.
Machado, would you be willing to send me those emails?
At the time it was exhibit.
You have to mute for you. Whoever you just let up as you play. Would you be? I'd appreciate that, Machado. I think they may come in use. Thank you. And I can write my email down for you, or
That's my email.
okay, if you wouldn't mind being the exchange there. So I think that they're very necessary.
I sent you an email yesterday.
Oh, he doesn't check her emails. So I need to know that's so funny. Need that if you wouldn't mind checking if you got her email, just so we can be sure. Oh, it'd be the easiest way to go about things. Yeah, I have it. Thank you.
And,
I'm sorry that you were intimidated, Ms. Yada.
you know, they keep talking about threats and fear, and the only time the only people that have really put me in true fear are them.
So ironically, with the attackers reported back too. So you've never been threatened or fearful of me, have you?
No,
No, you probably don't even know who I am.
no. I didn't even know your name until it was like in.
Yeah,
And what did she do?
nothing.
And then this whole cycle came around again the other day when Betty did this whole rant about Francis and, you know, Katie bringing Sebastian to the funeral, which, by the way, there was always 30 to 40 people coming and going to my aunt's house, which she had respected. And yes, Francis was there, it was her father, but and his wife stayed the night over there for the funeral too. And by no means would my Aunt Suzanne and Sebastian in a position of in harm's way ever.
Hey everyone, for those of you coming in a little confused, let me catch you up real quick. This is the second cousin of KP. She has been, we haven't heard from her in months and months. She used to be a member of our channel. She was very concerned that possibly her second cousin KP could have knowledge of what happened to Sebastian, is what she had shared with us. She had shared with us in our chat before that KP was no, weak link or anything like that. Then we hadn't heard from her a long time. And now she is back. And she is on a hate channel or clue and talking poorly of Nick, Tony, BHB, the green team, etc. So at the end, they bring up the court case because BHB sends a comment and they are going to take it to BHB's court case tomorrow. And I, you know, some of us felt like maybe this was the timing of it was planned, correct? So just an opinion, right? So hello, everyone. I'm going to keep us going, okay? I was just trying to catch people up who were coming in.
And he knows that. And welfare check on. If he did that, it was for spite. He knows that Sebastian would have been with his great grandma Suzanne.
Have you and your
I never
family been
once
visited by the police?
Nobody ever once mentioned to me anything about him doing that. And I've talked to him a few times, and he knew I was at the funeral, and he never once mentioned anything about him having to do a welfare check. There was no written agreement that Sebastian couldn't be anywhere near his grandmother. I mean, that was
Okay, pause. But his grandmother is a lifelong registered sex offender. So that means he should not be around. He cannot be around her. Okay, she cannot be around children, correct? So, and someone else was asking a question. Oh, they will read you a tad. She will read you a tad bit of Bullhorn's message. So hang tight.
just didn't want.
So the thing about Sebastian being left with Katie's mother, you find to be untrue.
There's no way.
Thank you.
Brady would not do that.
That's important.
No way. And
I don't want to call it the elephant in the room, but that's like Chris on pattern?
You know, I'm not going
No.
I've been listening the whole time. Good afternoon, Miss Ada. How are you?
I'm fine.
Because I've had the pleasures of never seeing you face to face. And after speaking with your family, see face to face. I appreciate you opening your mouth and inserting yourself in a situation you have no business being in.
You just here clearing up some lines.
You're not
You're
He's jumping from panel to panel to person, and get yourself involved in something you don't need to be involved in. You really don't.
okay, whatever.
Honestly, face
Maybe hear him out, you know?
About that. What I'm saying is, I've heard so many lies that I'm trying to clear them up.
Excuse me, y'all.
you have to jerk some lines. You didn't get enough. You inserted yourself into something you're not a part of. You haven't seen Katie since that funeral. His life. You have no involvement with Sebastian, with Seth, with you, my wife. You have inserted yourself for no good reasons. When was the last time you spoke with your whole family?
All of them combined?
Of course. Exactly. There's a reason for that, man. A real good reason for that. I would like for you to think about it. I really appreciate you.
You really don't know the right reason.
Well, it's like this. I've talked to enough of the family. I'm willing to listen to you.
Oh, I'm not giving them a reason.
Yeah, don't
I'd be more than happy to talk to you offline. I'm more than happy to
It's a
talk
really
to
good
you.
idea, actually. I do think we should have a conversation, not
I will ask you publicly from this day forward. Don't speak about Sebastian. Don't speak about Katie. Stay out of this situation. You're doing nothing for it. You're already sitting here trying to, well, you're fine. Squash the lies. That's fine. Squash the lies with the proof. Bring the receipts. Bring people to the table. Visible situation, unless you have a recorded session of it. Against everybody else's words, and then so on and so on. So once again, it does nothing for this situation.
It's on my phone huh. Did it just start when CP came on? Hold on. Oh, shoot, I don't know where we were. Hold on.
What were you saying? The green
Hold
tea
on,
in
you
the
all.
live?
She do.
nothing.
Exactly. There's a reason for that, man. A real good reason for that. That's not something you're going to hear on the show or hear out anywhere else. I would like for you to think about it. I really appreciate you.
You really don't know the right reason.
Well, it's like this. I've talked to enough of the family. I'm willing to listen to you.
Oh, I'm not giving my reason.
Yeah, don't.
I'd be more than happy to talk to you offline. I'm more than
That's
happy
a
to talk
really
to you.
good idea, actually. I do think we should have a conversation, not.
I will ask you publicly from this day forward. Don't speak about Sebastian. Don't speak about Katie. Stay out of this situation. You're doing nothing for it. You're already sitting here trying to, well, you're fine. Squash the.
Okay, so we can't understand it anymore? Some can hear, some can't. I was just going to say that reality wins. I'm sure law enforcement's listening to every word. Okay, so I wonder if remember my computer issue, but it was fine earlier, right? It's weird because it's not happening here again. Let me see if, tell me if this makes a difference.
Lies. That's fine. Squash the lies with the proof. Bring the receipts. Bring people to the table. Visible situation, unless you have a recorded session of it. And it's your word against everybody else's words, and then so on and so on. So once again, it does nothing for this situation. So I'm asking you politely, don't speak about us anymore. Don't bring this up to anybody else, because your involvement is not welcomed.
And so you don't want that email?
You can get back early. I'm telling you from me about my wife, my son, even about Seth. Don't speak about us anymore. Period. We do not welcome you into this conversation. We don't welcome you into this situation.
I would like to talk to you privately.
I think that's a great idea, actually. Can I send you her email address?
Well, yes, ma'am.
That would be great.
If you want to chat, we can chat on the phone. I'm okay
Send me
with
an email with a phone number and I'd be happy to.
I can email her your number if you want me to.
that. I'm fine with that. Either way.
Okay. I think that's the best way to handle it.
Great. Once I get your email, I'll send you those emails as well.
I really appreciate that, Yada.
Anything you need to do to help her, please. Help her, help everybody in this situation. I'm just asking nothing else from here forward. That's all I'm asking.
Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate it, man. I look forward to speaking with you.
That'd be great.
There, ladies.
Bye, Chris.
Bye.
I need to kick you. Oh, we got it. All right. All right. So I'm sorry. There's a lot of people in the chat, and a lot of them are like me. We're all confused. How, in the first place, did you even get involved with At Night and Nick and them? I don't understand.
They were I guess being people and me.
Okay.
But at this point, bring an action against me. I think I need to clear some air with Chris because all I'm trying to do is help them out at this point because there's some more stuff that he needs to know. And I'm not going to air it here either. So
Fair enough. Well, I emailed you his phone number, so.
awesome.
Well, in just a sec.
Send her those
Thank you.
emails as well.
Hi, everyone who's coming in. Yes, let me go ahead and recap. This is second cousin of KP, Yeda. It is about Sebastian. It is regarding KP taking Sebastian to her grandpa's funeral, who KP was very, very, very close to. I think about 6-7 years ago. Seth did not attend. So it was, I think they were still together or separated, whatever. Seth did not attend. And Sebastian went with KP. And Frances, KP's mother, was there, who is a level 3 RSO. And Yeda's on here saying that she knows that he was not alone with her, that he was always with his other grandma, great grandma, Suzanne, who is KP's grandmother, who KP is very close to. And Yeda told me Grandma Suzanne always knows where KP is, but doesn't share with the rest of the family. She keeps KP's confidence. So Yeda's now telling a different story. She used to come into our chat. She was a member of our channel. She was very verbal about, she was concerned that KP had knowledge and that she shared with us she wasn't a weak link. She was an MMA fighter, you know, so she shared lots of us. That's a great question. Brianna says, why is KP on there with Yeda instead of CP? Yeah, why didn't KP pop up there? Good question. But anyway, I don't know. I don't have the answer to it. So now she's popped up. She's flipped a bit. She had originally gone on BHB. You know, she was on our channel. She was very concerned that KP may have had knowledge allegedly. And now she's back and she's on Clue. And this was today. And tomorrow is BHB's court case. And that will catch you up. MMA trained then.
You like what their end goal with this whole litigation was going to be?
I have no idea. Honestly, have no idea.
So you were threatened to be a defendant if you didn't do what exactly?
Well,
Stop pushing their buttons and confronting them on their
basically,
buttons.
stop, don't, you know, there, you know, there. We're not changing anything. It's staying like it is. You know, basically.
Shut up about it, basically.
Yeah.
The audio better now? Oh, you can. Shannon just said she can't hear it. Did it get better and get worse again? Thank you so much. Keep up the chatter for gifting a membership. Welcome to the family. Be sure to keep up the chatter if you get her generous gift. And Mini Panthers, thank you so much for the team. Thank you. I can't go there. It was my first time, I believe. Thank you. That was very kind and thoughtful of you. You all, has it gotten any better? It's the recording. Was it like this in the beginning when we first started listening? Okay, well, I'm just going to keep playing it for those of you. Put a 1 if you want me to keep playing it. And please hit that like button. Thank you, Sped Teacher. Welcome. Put a 1 if you want me to keep playing it. Okay, I see all 1s but 1, 2. So I'm going to keep going. I'm sorry, Carolina Chartier. Okay.
No.
Have you ever talked to the attorney Joseph Lesniak at all?
He has never returned my calls. I've sent him several emails and left voice messages.
Wow. Don't worry, he's not returning calls to plaintiffs either. Allegedly.
Lesbiak won't talk to you. It's Nick and Tony doing the I've blocked them all. At this point, I've blocked all of them.
But to be correct, it was Nick who said you could as easily become a defendant. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And that's because you recorded a phone call. You told him you had a phone call recorded.
I have the record of all the messages from the tacos.
Okay.
And he took it as me recording phone calls or whatever. He took it, you know, you can't record people without their knowledge. I'm like,
Depending on your state, you sure can.
yeah. In Virginia, I can't.
Oh, okay.
Because trying to strong arm you.
Yeah, that's he's using a phone line to blackmail, intimidate, and harass. You have a right at that time to protect yourself.
But yeah, it was.
So you retained a lawyer to protect yourself? Yeah. And
I mean, nothing's come of it, but still, I don't trust one day to the next. And
it's smart.
I'm.
Did you give your lawyer a rundown on everything?
I did.
And what did they think? They think it's crazy?
All they did was just shook their head and said, YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if Washington State.
So Yada, I didn't watch your interview with Bullhorn Betty, so I don't know what was said there. I know a lot of people are upset. But How did that whole thing come about?
Mostly because JLR doxed my family's Facebook pages at the very beginning and started posting pictures of all the girls. It was when the picture came up, the sighting at Grandfather Mountain.
Mhm.
And he somehow doxed all of our private Facebook pages and was posting pictures of us. He had pictures of my cousin Beth. He had pictures of even my mother, who had just gotten out of the hospital, we thought we had lost my mother. She had been in the hospital for almost 3 weeks.
So Betty
This
reached
could be
out.
her, this could be her, and yeah. And,
Do you realize that you were triangulated between two people who don't like one another?
I figured that out a
Mm-hmm.
little late.
Also, it is not against the law to record phone calls in your state.
I think I have to tell them I'm recording it.
Now, it's one party consent, which means so long as you are recorded and aware that you're okay. Yeah, only one person has to be aware that a recording is being made, even if you're that person. You're allowed to record.
Good to know.
But also, I just wanted to say, I mean, in JLR's defense, Facebook's aren't private. So that's
Yeah.
kind of a double-edged sword there. I mean, I know you felt your privacy and your family's privacy was invaded and you didn't ask for it.
But he was posting our names, our addresses.
Oh, I see. Right. So,
The address.
so Betty reached out and she was like, hey, I'll give you a platform to speak against this. What's going on with your family type thing?
And it was just, and a lot of the questions were blindsiding, and I was like, whoa. And yeah, but at the same time, I always told her, you know, I stand by, I want the truth. You know, I don't condone, you know, no, my son got alone, he was in high school. And he could have been there, you know, for me to go pick him up. Did I pick him up that day? No, it was the weekend. I left him in there all weekend. You do the crime, you serve the time. So I don't play this game of coddling and covering up. And if it's the truth, I'm going to say it. If it's not, I'm going to point it out. So, and I told her that, look, I don't get along with people in my family, and there's a reason for that. But wronged, I will fight like hell for them. And I don't get along with Beth. She was being wronged. And now I had to get an attorney because of it.
So do you feel that Buller and Betty tried to make you implicate your cousin Katie and the disappearance of her son?
Shit. When I came after her live about Friday or Friday when she did that Sebastian around the RSO thing, I went straight up after her on that live and her chat and everything. Seems like you guys have run out of things to talk about, so you flip right back at my family. You know, those names. And she's like, I know you're just not gonna like me saying this. And I'm like, no, I'm sick and tired of it.
Unfortunately, you were dealing with someone who has zero integrity, and I'm sorry that happened to your family.
I wonder if that's how the prophets felt when you went around spreading rumors about them.
I have not talked about the prophets.
Well, you did.
I thought you meant the power sexes.
Unfortunately, there's no family that is.
Unfortunately, you know, I watched all the videos, and yes, everybody has their own opinion. Like I said, I don't condone it. And I tell it like I see it. I've seen all the videos, and I don't think that's shouldn't either. I don't feel that he's an innocent bystander in any of this by any means. You know, he is just as shifty. So, to me, in my opinion, and I don't care if Chris calls me out on this either, I'm not believing. I don't believe any of them. I think there's somewhere in the middle. There's somewhere in the middle, and it just seems like the whole truth and nothing but the truth isn't coming from any of them, and that's my opinion.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Have you spoken to Seth since all of this?
I've spoken to him,
Yeah.
and things that he has said to me over phone conversations has been different than things he said on his YouTube. I don't listen to him on YouTube anymore.
Very interesting.
I see him raking in money and stories, and it's like, no, okay, no, okay.
Does anything in particular stand out to you that like was different than what he said on the phone, or?
Well, like the whole funeral thing, that just threw me for a loop, because I saw that on Laura Lodge, and I'm like, what the hell?
Laura Lodge, you told a woman to, yeah.
And then when he was talking about it on his live, I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
You know, when the whole thing happened with the exhibits, it's like hindsight, all of them, just so nice. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, no, I'm not standing for this. I'm not having them falsely accuse people that they have proven to be innocent. That I've even sent in photos, documentation, everything. I have it. And you in hindsight, it's like, well, if you feel that that's, you need to push the issue, but you know the courts will weed out anything that's not true. I'm like, well, why are you having a case suing people for defamation and lies that's full of defamation and lies?
Great question. This has been court or weed through. Isn't that true? The attorney has to weed through that. The courts don't weed through your fantasy. Sorry, Cletus, I was supposed to clarify. What a stupid statement to make.
No, you're fine. Kind of lost a little bit, and just to clarify, are you mentioned in this lawsuit?
My cousin is. And at the time, they were asking me questions. At the time, they were asking me questions about my cousin.
Yes, she showed her face through the entire interview. The picture you see on the thumbnail was from her showing herself. Sorry, I don't know why the audio's not so great, but you had the one, so we're going to keep going per the majority.
And I had proven none of it was true, but they still put her in the exhibits.
And who is they specifically?
And his investigator, and she wasn't even there at that time. She was out of the country at that time. No, my cousin,
We will do that. That's a great idea, Jenny. Maybe not tonight, but we will definitely do that.
niece and her dad were staying in the camper, you know.
I mean, all that's neither. It's honestly, it's probably not for a public platform, right? But I was trying to understand, you know, and with all due respect, your relevancy to the lawsuit at all, because that, you know.
So
Well, I understand, but are they lies on you?
they're based on what she said I said. And I did not say them, and I have the proof I did not say them.
So maybe I can help clear this up a little bit, Cletus. So that is exactly what Mrs. Michelle said. She doesn't want to be called burrito. She said the same thing. She said, as far as any of the other information, that information came from Katie's cousin, Yada. So that was her understanding, is that you gave that information. Yeah,
Right, and I said I did not.
Like, how all the dependents help is what she's saying, right?
Thank you, Randy, because I was sitting here like, I do find it rather interesting. I'm just sitting here taking it all in for a second, but I do find it rather interesting that all of a sudden Burrito is out here, doesn't want to be called Burrito. There's a bunch of lies. They twisted my story, but all the information that I was giving.
Do you all know who Burrito is?
Them was coming from Yada.
And I have all the proof that is not true. And I provided it.
Oh, thank you, Jenny Mount.
The question then, I mean, we're not.
His wife, I guess.
On a public platform and talk about any of this at all instead of just handling this legal matter privately. It's just
Apparently Uncle Taco's wife.
you understand you say you're strong. What do you mean?
Because I tried to clear it up. It said make me the defendant.
So your response to their threat is to come out publicly, state your story. Is that? And I'm not attacking, I'm just trying to get a full understanding of. You know,
It started when they were talking about you on your.
Hey, Tony, how are ya? We're listening to the entertainment from this afternoon. How you doing? It's good to see you. Thank you so much for stopping in. Did you get to hear it, Tony? They're saying my audio turned a little weird, but they still wanted to listen to it. Well, that's yeah, you need, I'm sure Betty does know about it, right, Tony? By now. So. And 1 p.m. Central is BHB's thing tomorrow, right, Tony? Very good to see you, and thanks so much for being in here. Appreciate it. So it was a crazy day on the streets. The night before BHB goes to her court, I find it interesting timing. Just my opinion, though, just my thoughts. Let's go ahead and continue, my friends. Good to see you, Tony.
Chat was about lies in the green team, and I was commenting, and you invited me up on the panel, so it just escalated to this.
I don't understand that, right? But I mean, quite honestly, there have been people calling out the green team's lies for 13 months, and
Stayed away from YouTube since this happened.
when did this go down? When did this happen?
Let me see. I don't know if I can switch screens on this.
The CM maybe.
Would you say it's been in like the past 90 days? Or
No, it was when the first initial set of documents came out, the first,
back in November?
the beginning of November,
So you're saying you've stayed away from YouTube since then?
until Eddie's live, yeah.
Are you afraid of them?
Oh, God, yeah.
Are you?
You know what? Because I'm sick and tired of being afraid of them. And then that whole thing that was put up, that show that came on Saturday, it was dragging our family in the mud and then accusing that whole welfare check thing, bashing my Aunt Suzanne and what live Saturday.
And that she did a show about like Katie's mom and
Wow.
yeah,
Which she constantly keeps doing, which is, it has no bearing on this case.
Oh.
And Katie would never. I just, okay, let me correct this. In my opinion, I can never imagine in a million years that she would ever leave Sebastian with her mother.
Okay, I'm sorry. Sped teacher, you had me laughing out loud right there. I couldn't help it. She didn't get her packet. That's classic. Very funny. That's a good one. Oh,
Much less what Betty's accusing her of handing Sebastian over to her. I just went in.
Jen.
With all due respect, Jade, I personally don't want to hear about accusations.
But you were asking me what I said.
No, I get it, and I appreciate that. What do you find it funny that other people that are not apparently not directly involved or maybe directly named in the lawsuit are all coming out talking against this lawsuit all within, say, a 3 or 4 day period? Do you find that odd at all? Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know there was more than me.
Uncle Taco and Michelle were just in nonsense chat the other day. It's what Granny was alluding to a while ago. That they've kind of.
they are. To be honest, I kind of feel like Jolie taking that stand has made others feel more comfortable to do so.
I think Julie told them the same response that I got.
Mhm.
And when she said her name, she called them out on it and got the same. I'm sure you'll become a defendant.
But
Response
Have you
that I
talked to
got.
Julie? But the good
I've
thing is
never
they have
spoken to Julie.
no reach outside of Pennsylvania, so you guys are safe. So, someone said that you were in BJ's chat last week and said there was a side of Tony that people haven't seen. Can you elaborate on that?
He's not a nice person.
this is where I'm
And he
this is where I have problems, though, right? You just said. Hold on, if I can, please. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I've got to address this right now before we go any further. You just said that you had stayed away from YouTube until Betty's live, and now you're speaking out. But you're acknowledging you were in BJ's chat last week talking about Tony. So which is it? Have you avoided YouTube until you heard what Betty said, or have you been in YouTube?
that wasn't the first time
I'm sorry. Go
I had the notice that Betty was going to do that. So Julie, well, actually, you know what? It was Julie's thing where the big thing where she saw her name. I heard it. They were going in for Brittany Jones or something because
oh,
and they were talking about Julie going because her name was in that thing. And that's what made me look at it. And what they were talking about in that thing was how wonderful Tony was and how and thank God I didn't hear it anymore, but that's when I put that in, I turn it down. You know, once they start going in certain cases and how wonderful things are, and I did put in also, I bet the same thing happened to her that happened to me, and that was the last comment I made. And then I didn't touch anything because I am swearing that's what happened. But I saw that Julie, I saw the big headline. And I did make that comment. But then I saw Betty's with the RSO and Katie in the RSO. And I'm like, oh God, here we go again. When Julie was the thing about I saw the headline about going after Brittany. It had to do, just from hindsight.
So I've got another.
I just on Twitter going off. They're all going off. By the way, your entire legal filing is the worst legal advice I've ever seen. The day I take anything you have to say about legal matters seriously is the day you win. When's your court date for the Mercy filing? Wait, have you ever heard of a man named Alex? Do you know Alex Swan or Swanson? Has he ever reached out to you?
I just got a message. I just got an Instagram from Betty too.
So we can show how quickly do that in people. Yeah, it's agreed. Do talk loud if you wouldn't mind.
Oh yeah, baby, now I'm gonna go on your family.
Yeah, sounds like a threat. Instead of using it from the plaintiff, and the family already has how many restraining orders course tomorrow, right? No, maybe you just need to speak sooner. As if she's not a. I'm gonna go all in on your family. What is that? That's scary. She's in Tennessee. I take that very seriously. Maybe I'll just put a secret. What does it mean, Betty? Maybe you could send that to Chris Pamphlet. Yeah, maybe she didn't write it. Yeah, tomorrow.
I think she's using because she's checking her messages.
Because she went out of screen. Listen, I know Yada said a lot of things. But obviously, nobody deserves the intimidation they put on people. Look at her phone going off, and they're already on Twitter intimidating our center personal. Nobody deserves this.
No,
This isn't it.
I would speak to your lawyer about these intimidation and threats. That's not right.
You can't speak for screens though. You can't speak for
this shit, yeah.
She's gonna have to put on do not disturb, or she'll keep getting frozen throughout this. They might just have yeah, trying to silence her from speaking. Speaking.
Absolutely. Yeah, I used to do this shit when Don Wells was up on panels.
Mm-hmm. See, I'm sorry, but
I think she has a lot that could help you, Granny.
I think she does too, which is why Hans are on Twitter losing his shit. Where are you at me when you're seeking a mercy protective order, Hank?
Jesus. I'm just emailing it to you. Okay.
And yes, it is the real Tony. I have verified. I messaged him. It is Tony. For those of you who do not think it's the real Tony, it is the real Tony Mathis.
Sweet team. Wow.
You don't.
Emailed it to you.
Those pants are bigger than my head.
I just emailed it to you.
I know. I'm trying to float.
You got it.
Like I did. I can't read a damn thing. And random things, is that what your friend Alex does? The one that sent a fake, did you guys hear about that? So Alex, who happens to have shared an address currently or at one point with Nick, is the one that sent the threat that they're now using in litigation. The threat that said like $100,000.
Is it even real?
Yeah, I don't know, but apparently he was a pilot for the Army. He was like keeps bringing up planes and shit. I don't know.
It looked like a stock account to me.
Yeah, he did look a little odd, and the fact that, he lives at the same address as at one point. Very interesting though, that his Mojus group is as far as to read these. Watch your tracks.
Is that from Betty?
Yeah.
Send it to Chris.
Okay.
She has court tomorrow. What are you
Right.
You're so sorry.
Are you self-sabotaging, Betty? My goodness.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's ours again.
Okay, and that's it. How many of you want me to go over and pull Bullhorn Betty's interview of Yada so we can compare? Put a 1 if you want me to, a 2 if you're done for the night. 1 if you want me to pull. You are so welcome, Brianna's World. That's very kind of you. So Jay, thank you for all you do for Sebastian by keeping his name. And pick out there. You do a good job on bringing awareness to Sebastian's case. Thank you, Brianna's World. I see lots of 1s. 1, 2, 1s, 1s. So mainly 1s. Okay. Hi, Ginger Snap. How are you? Yeah, it is a hole that keeps digging, huh? Keeps getting deeper and deeper, right? Okay. Well, I'll go ahead. Give mods, if you all chat amongst yourselves while I load it up. I'll be right there. And Glowy, thank you for being here, even though you're late. I will be right there, guys. Oh, no, remember I can't because of the audio situation until I get my computer into Best Buy. So, well, if I do it on my phone, it's not going to sound the same, but let's try it. Okay. Let's try it. Let me see if I can pull it up here. We are going to compare the interview because some thought possibly it sounded different. Let's see here. Okay, let me see here. Does anyone remember when that was? I know someone else just asked that too. I don't see the search thing on hers. Probably because I'm on my phone. Okay, hold on. Let me go on YouTube, find it, and then I'll Google it on my phone real quick. And then we'll get to it. Can't find it. Hold on. Let's see if we could find it here. Goodness, I'm not sure. There's a lot here. Trying to find it. Okay, let's see. No. I don't know, you all. I can't find it right now, but I can pull it up and get it ready. I can pull it up and get it ready up. Yeah, I'm trying to go through it and I'm not seeing it, but I can pull it up and we can watch it tomorrow. Okay. Yes, it's from the panel. The thumbnail, she was showing her face during it, so it was Yada. So. And CP sure, so whether it was planned or whatever, we will see. Tomorrow BHP has her court appearance at 1 p.m. Central Time. Don't forget, if you would like to volunteer to assist, we are sebastiansarmy@gmail.com. And also on Seth Rogers, Sebastian's father, his YouTube channel. His post, he has a wonderful data there from every state, with phone numbers, email addresses, mailing addresses where we can call, send flyers, etc. So really well done. He's put the work in it for everyone, and all we have to do is take action and follow through. So if you're willing to do some of that, go on Seth's post if you would, and look through that. I'm going to do some Arizona. I'm going to take care of some Arizona. And we have a truck driver in our group who kindly is going to put flyers in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York rest stops. We have individuals who have friends traveling and they're sending them flyers, digitals for them to print and put up. One individual already had their ex frozen by sending their flyers, so many flyers out. You all are amazing. And I'm sorry I can't find that interview. September 20th? Okay, let me check. Thank you. I'll check one more time. Let me check one more time here. Hold on. Do you know the title of it? Let's see. I think I'm just tired. I'm going to get up tomorrow and try and get downtown in time to get in. Let's see here if I can find it. September 20th, huh? Hold on. Give it one more try. Thank you, mods, for doing this. Okay, let's see here. So September 20th would have been October, November, December, January, February, March. 6 or 7 months ago. Okay. Let's see here, Yada. Where are you? Where are you, Yada? Hold on. Someone's messaging me. Hold on. Let me look. Hey, thank you. Can you do me a favor? And oh, thank you so much. That's perfect, actually. Thank you. Appreciate it, Misty. Hold on. You sure this is the right one? Yes.
Towards Seth.
Thank you.
But we're lighting it up green. So what people are doing is they're buying green light bulbs and other types of green light that have upset you. But this particular post was, it seemed a little deep. It seemed, what prompted you
Hold on, guys.
to make the post? And I'm just going to read it.
Hold on. I just hit a button on my phone, of course. Just a second.
Read it in just a moment after you answer this question.
Well, like I said, I've been watching.
For the great, 3 or 4 different countries that are lighting it up.
Changing, and I didn't want to believe.
Letter and ask them if they would be so kind
Okay.
to post his photo up and let people know going into their establishment that there's a missing boy in their area. You'll be amazed at how many people will step up to the plate, how many people will keep their eyes out. Many people are flooding my email. People are starting to see the billboards. I just information that we may not know prior to you to make that post. I know that you've been a good contributor in the chat, and I know you've been keeping a low profile, and I personally know there's been a few things that have upset you, but this particular post was, it seemed a little deeper. It seemed to make the post, and I'm just going to read it in just a moment after you answer this question.
Well, like I said, I've been watching this from the very beginning. And interview after interview, the stories kept changing. And I got an email, a private message from a couple of my cousins after a picture.
It's because Yada.
And things are being said about our family.
Hold on, guys. That's not my echo. Yada has something open on her phone. Here, I'll fast forward till she figures it out.
All doubt was gone. I had hope, maybe an accident. Then she,
yes, Cinderella, thank you.
He could be anywhere now. Blood relative only holds so much hope and faith, and I couldn't pray this feeling away. Months later, so many lies, YouTube creators flipping the script as if they're threatened. No way, I thought. They never wanted a single vigil. They never went to a single vigil, couldn't find time for searches, lied on a Sumner County custody position, fully cleared by LE and in no danger or threat. She seemed to love her summer with someone else's child, forgetting her own. Now, anyone who's steadfast in finding Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is met with threats, fake profile harassment, and legal action, gag orders, First Amendment rights stripped. Every day I truly feel like I wanted to apologize, but every day I wanted to scream at every state and federal representative for the state of Tennessee and ask them, can you not see what's happening in this county? What mother steals her missing child's name out of the mouth of people who want him found? Why is nothing being done about the threats to the people searching? Then I want to ask my extended family, why are you all so quiet? Do you think this is okay? I don't. If you did nothing wrong, prove us wrong. Let people search without fear, hang flyers without getting police called on them, and show his name and picture. Stop spending your time and money in court on lawyers silencing people over lies. Let people help bring him home. Otherwise, tell us what happened. That was pretty emotional.
That was Yada's writing.
I cried for days before I wrote that. And
it was pretty emotional. And your family has been, for the most part, silenced. Is there a reason? I mean, I know that most of your family had already previously been doxxed.
Good night, Little Red Zero. Thank you for everything.
Even though they were doxxed, I mean, my family is normally not quiet. So I'm actually surprised I haven't been getting a lot of response from them. But,
And when-
you know, I have seen posts on other pages, you know, questioning who I am. Trust me, I am who I am. I am who I say I am. I have receipts.
Yes,
But-
yes, you don't need to produce your receipts on here, but
No.
she's produced receipts, so, and
But-
Okay, so that is Yada. So now you've compared the voices and you see what she thought in the beginning to where almost a polar flip from what she was saying today. In my opinion, you form your own, please. So everyone, I'm just surprised, but not surprised because we always have a twist and a turn. Let's see here. We have a good comment here I want to cover. Jamie Royce says Tennessee is a no body, no crime state. That's why it is taking so long, no matter the evidence. Many cases have been tried with no body and been successful. Thank you for sharing that. Hi, Town Chat Cafe. We, what happened today is, if you recall, Yada, the second cousin of KP, who used to be in our chat all the time, she was a member, and she was concerned, and in her opinion, thought KP had possibly knowledge of what happened to Sebastian, and she was quite verbal about it. She interviewed with BHB. She shared with us in the chat many times about KP's personality, that she's not a soft feather. She's very strong. She's not a weak link. I'm paraphrasing in some of it. And then we didn't hear from her for months. And now she was on Cluminati today. And I audioed it for y'all, and I took one for the team because I usually don't go there. And I played it, and I'm sorry the audio is coming through. This computer is going to Best Buy tomorrow. But we listened to it. She's done a little bit of a flip, and then CP came on very angry and telling her, you're not to talk about our family. Some feel that, and you form your own opinion, it was well staged and planned, and of the timing the day before Bullhorn Betty's court appearance in Tennessee. So that wraps it up. I will be here tomorrow. I'm going to try and get into the Valo thing early. I'm leaving earlier tomorrow. Also, then I will come on tomorrow night, report to you what happened there, and we'll see what happened in BHB's case. Prayers for everyone, BHB, Sebastian, Seth, everyone's searching. And I want to thank you all for being here, your support, everything you do as a part of Sebastian's army, and truly an army for all the children. I appreciate everything, and I will see you all tomorrow. Yes, Town Chat Cafe. It was crazy, and I don't know if it was meant to stir up drama before tomorrow. I'm not sure what, but we will see what happens. And if I get into the Valo jury selection, I will take notes and report it to you personally. So I'm leaving earlier so I don't get stuck in any traffic or construction this time, but I'm leaving early in the morning. And I will try and get in, and I will report back tomorrow night on that if I got in. And Sebastian's case, meaning Bullhorn Betty's hearing, and anything else that may pop up tomorrow. Thank you all so much. Have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow. Talk soon.